Ivan, I've got a proposal for you.
Yes.
No hose, no mess, little time.
I'm Ivan.
I'm Nick.
And this is DIY Detail. We have this beautiful Tahoe here that is well maintained. The owner actually likes their vehicle. He cleans it. He makes sure that it's nice and pristine most of the time. Has a few bug guts on it. It's not that dirty. How do we do a rinseless wash without a hose, without any fluff? Just get it done.
Some people want to rinseless wash the world. You may be one of those.
Yes.
But I think rinseless wash, although it has become so mainstream, definitely does well in its own lane.
Exactly.
And it's a pristine way to clean your vehicle when you stay up on your vehicle. So if you're like a once a week guy, gal, whatever, this is a perfect method. We're not gonna introduce the pressure washer. We're not gonna get messy. This method, I think, goes back to your roots, which is simplicity.
Right. So in the bucket, we have 4 gallons of water. I put 4 capfuls of the rinseless wash, half an ounce to a gallon or 4 milliliters to a liter. In this, we have the same dilution, 256:1 of rinseless wash in the sprayer, and we're going to spray on rinseless wash everywhere.
This is a keg.
Right.
So you're getting a little away from simplicity. Can you talk about what this is and whether we need this and the benefits and kind of what this is all about?
You don't need it. You could put your rinseless wash in a spray bottle and spray it on. That takes time, that takes effort. One of these, especially if you're doing your wash once a week this way, it's a great investment because you have a lot of volume and you're getting it done quickly.
There's some people out there who have heard this a million times, but there's others who are gonna wanna know, what is a rinseless wash? Like, what's happening when you spray this clear liquid onto the paint?
It's emulsifying the dirt, and in doing so, it's breaking down the dirt and encapsulating it, making that dirt that's now on the surface isn't really on the surface anymore. It's being lifted off.
This is our legacy sponge. It has all different kinds of perforations in here. That's where a lot of this dirt is gonna end up. Ivan, you've been talking about rinseless wash sponges now for at least 10 years that I've known.
A little longer than that, but yeah. So the rinseless wash sponge is definitely a tool that is the best tool for the job.
But aren't I scratching the paint? So many of you are gonna ask that. It is so thick that what we're looking at here is pressure, right? If I were just to put my fingers on the paint, chances are it's not gonna be even. I'm a human, I'm not gonna do this perfectly. But you're reducing some of that human error with how thick this foam is. So when I go up against the paint, even if I put uneven pressure here, you notice how the red part of the foam hasn't changed. That's the whole idea. No pressure, we're letting the science, the chemistry work for us here. There's lubrication with the rinseless wash. You wanna get this to barely dripping, no pressure on the paint, and simply let the formula work for you. I already hit this section, but I did my little demo there, so I got a little distracted. So I do one panel with one side. You might say, are these different kinds of foam? They're actually not. But visually, what's really helpful is, I may do all my windows with the black side, right? Or I may be doing one panel with black, one panel with red. So for this case, I'm gonna do all my windows with black. I already did that one panel, and I'm not worried about windows ever getting scratched, so I'll hit a little bit more real estate here. But usually I'll do one panel with one side, the other panel with the other side. So I did this panel with black and the windows with black, and this is just visual. It's like, let's say your kid comes out, or a customer calls, or a neighbor comes to talk to you, you forgot where you were. Well, you can keep track of it visually with these different colors of foam. And then I just run the legacy sponge against the grit guard. Barely dripping. Ivan, tell me about the grit guard. Is it over or underrated with the rinseless wash?
With the rinseless wash, it's a little overrated. You don't actually need to go down and scrub the grit guard with your wash media using the rinseless wash. As soon as you touch that sponge to the bucket, it's already emptied itself out. But it's a good safety measure nonetheless. For the wheels, we're going really simple on these. Again, very well-maintained vehicle. All we need is a microfiber towel and the rinseless wash. And that's gonna clean these wheels and tires perfectly. Rinseless wash, also, if you're doing this outside in the sun, you can do the vehicle section by section. So instead of doing the whole vehicle, you can do just 1/4 of it or 1/2. And work that way. So it allows you a lot of simplicity in what you're doing and a lot of flexibility as well. Now, if the vehicle is very dirty, you're going to want to pre-rinse. Rinseless wash does not mean you don't rinse before, it means you don't rinse afterwards. And the safest way of doing that is spray a little rinseless on the surface, let it sit for a minute or two to do its job, then you rinse it off, and then do your contact wash.
Ivan, people might see the Rinseless Wash bucket start to look a little dark, and they might wonder, how is this safe?
The larger particles that could scratch your vehicle are going to the bottom of the bucket. But what's sort of floating around is emulsified dirt. It is taken care of. It is engulfed in the polymers, and it's not going anywhere. So no need to worry about that. And the DIY Rinseless Wash is a combination of polymers and surfactants, meaning that you have best of both worlds.
I like thinking about emulsification like mayonnaise. It's something you brought up before where everything is sort of suspended into one formula. And
Right.
that's like, oh, okay, so the dirt is suspended in the formula, so the water might look murky, but it's actually encapsulated or suspended.
Yeah, there's nothing there that's going to damage anything.
Exactly. I'm a visual learner, so when I talk about all these scientific terms, sometimes they come out in a jumble, but when you use the stuff and you know it works, it all kind of clicks.
And as you can see, wheels often take longer than the rest of the vehicle. So
When I first started detailing, I had someone be like, she was trying to help me with my efficiency in the business. She's like, how long does it take you for wheels? And she couldn't believe that it was taking me that long. And I was dialing them in, you know, using a brush to get inside the barrels and deep cleaning. And I was just like, well, that's how long it takes, you know? And she may not have been wrong, but I think to the outside world, you don't realize what some of it takes in detailing, and wheels can be pretty time consuming. Any time efficiency tips with wheels, Ivan?
clean them often. That way you're not having to get a lot of dirt off them, you're just having to maintain them.
That's a good sort of golden rule in detailing. It's just if you clean your vehicle often, it's going to be easier to do in less time when you want to clean your car.
So the sides all wash, Nick?
Well, I've been on this roof for so long, I forgot what I was doing.
And that is a good reason to have a standard operating procedure and do it the same way every time.
Yeah, I did this side.
That way you know where you've been without having to think about it.
No, but that does make sense for sure. Standard operating procedure is usually top to bottom, but I started on the side, so.
So from here, I'm gonna put a bit of ceramic gloss on the surface, use it as a drying aid, and at the same time, provide additional protection to this vehicle.
I prefer to do some kind of rinse before washing, but it's good to know that this method still works great.
Yeah, a vehicle that's in this shape, there's no need to rinse it. That's just wasting time and water.
And again, you're just gonna do no pressure, right? If you haven't taken a pressure washer to this car or a hose to flush the paint, you're gonna rely on the rinseless wash to suspend that dirt. So you're not gonna put any pressure on the paint as you wash.
Now, some people will wonder, your towel, you're putting ceramic gloss on it, what's happening to that towel? Well, when I'm done the wash, I'm actually gonna put the towel in the rinseless wash mixture, and the surfactants are going to remove or stop the ceramic from cross-linking. Now, other uses for a rinseless wash, it is a fabulous interior cleaner.
Wait, I can use something on the exterior of my paint and inside the vehicle?
Right, and you can use it in the house too. If you've never cleaned floors with a rinseless wash, you're in for a treat. You may actually enjoy cleaning floors going forward.
Cleaning the house got a lot more fun once I discovered detailing. Because the same principles apply.
Exactly. We're detailing the house.
Or in your case, the bus.
Yeah. Now you'll notice I've dried the whole side of this Tahoe with one little towel. That's another advantage of the rinseless wash, is that it doesn't leave a lot of moisture on the surface.
This is a great method for folks out there who may not have the pressure washer set up, but if you have a garage, you can do this in the winter time as well. It's just not great if you have a ton of snow that's still on the car.
No. But if that happens, you can go to a pay and spray type where you put a few coins in, you get access to their pressure washer, and just pressure wash off the heavy stuff off your car, then go home and wash the outside with the rinseless wash. Yes, the drive home, you might pick up a few little things on the road, but it won't be enough that will harm the situation. Now, one other thing you can do is eventually get wheels for your bucket. And even if you're at home washing your car, train your bucket to follow you around the vehicle. And once you've done that, you don't have to be walking back and forth to the bucket every time. For us, this floor is not really conducive to wheels. So the wheels will work on this floor, but they're really noisy. Ceramic gloss on the windshield is amazing. While you're here, have you subscribed to the channel yet? If you haven't, click that button down below. Don't forget the bell while you're there, and if you can, leave us a comment.
You gotta have the wheels dialed in. That's gonna dramatically change the appearance of the vehicle. Two things. One, you wanna apply tire lotion to a dry tire. So I'm gonna let these dry a little bit longer, or I could go ahead and wipe with a towel. But with this towel, I wanna apply a little ceramic gloss to the rim face. Now I could do a couple things. I could do kind of a wide fan spray, just a couple like that, or I could do a couple on the towel. I prefer the towel, but since we're out of direct sunlight, I'm gonna do a little bit of both. You've got lubrication with the ceramic gloss, and you've also got a cleaning process here. So if you were to have missed a spot or two, ideally you've not missed anything, right? But things happen. This is your final quality control check where you get all the dirt off the rim face. You're also safely doing that because you got the lubrication as a drying aid of ceramic gloss. And then you're just adding that shine and protection, which I think is the most rewarding part of this process. So then you're gonna get a much shinier wheel face, rim face, and it's protected, which means it's easier to clean the next time.
And that's a key statement, easier to clean the next time. That's what we really are doing this for. When you do proper maintenance on your vehicle, it pays dividends. Now with the rinseless wash, if it happens to dry on the surface, like Nick probably has a few areas on the wheels that are already dry, not a big deal. And apparently this has a sensor under the bumper to open the door.
Gonna do some tire lotion here, Ivan.
Yeah.
That one doesn't have it yet. We're about to use a brush. A brush for tire dressing? What's going on?
Well, tires have all these nice little designs on the side of them now that if you're using a foam applicator, it takes a lot of time and effort and more product to get into all those little areas. Whereas if you're using the brush, it allows you to get into all those little cuts and sipes and letters easily, simply, and with control. So you're not getting it on the rim, you're not getting it anywhere else.
And once you get this brush primed, then it's like nothing.
Right.
But then it's almost too much. But it's that art form of how many sprays do you get on there, Ivan, when it's fully primed to give you the tire shine look you're looking for. Because once it's there, you almost got to do nothing. It's there now, but
yeah,
it took me, usually it's just a few, but.
One or two, generally all you need. Now.
But when you're me, you really like 10.
Right.
Like you would have had this tire shined in 3 strokes. I'm about 20 passes deep here, just trying to get it all perfect. But if it were my car, I'd be having fun.
Yeah, exactly.
I'd be enjoying it. Why not?
Now, this one little towel has dried this whole large Tahoe, and it's still not dripping, still not that wet. So I can go and lightly wipe down the door panels because I have in the towel now the rinseless wash, and it's damp enough that all we're doing is dusting. Again, these door jambs, just like the rest of the vehicle, they're nice and clean. There's not an accumulation here.
And door jambs are so rewarding when they're clean.
Yeah.
Not as visually striking to the public as shine tires, but as the driver, I love having clean door jambs.
Right, when you open your door and you see that your door jambs are clean, just like the rest of the vehicle, it's just rewarding.
And if you want the glazed donut look, do 1 coat of tire shine, let it dry, then come back and do another one.
Yeah, so by the time you've gone around, you have the tire shine on there, come back around a second time, and you will get that bright, shiny tire that we used to love in the 70s.
I still love a glazed donut tire.
Yeah.
I know it's not cool, because we don't want that shiny, greasy look anywhere anymore, but what you realize with customers is they still associate shiny with clean a lot of the time, even when we don't think that's tasteful. People like what they like, Ivan, and I like a, maybe not glazed donut, but I like the look of like, I put some effort into these tires.
Exactly.
Be aware if you ever do this for a customer, tire lotion could be too slippery, so you may not want to do this, certainly not on floor mats, but you can actually dress the exterior plastic and trim and really change the appearance of it.
Right, and in a few minutes, it's gonna have dried off, so it's not slippery. And what we can do just to assure that is when we're done, go over it with a drying towel just to make sure. Door jambs are done, wheels are done, tires are done, glass is done. This car is clean.
See how I just touched up that area right there?
Yeah.
And right here. I think visually it makes a big difference. See that?
Yep, definitely.
Just little things like that, they set a tone when they're dialed in.
And then give it a little wipe.
Yep.
Just to level it and make sure that you've left nothing behind that's slippery. With that, thanks for watching. If you have any questions, comments, thoughts, or ideas, leave them below. And I think there's something here.
Yeah, if you still don't really get the whole rinseless wash thing, we did an entire podcast about the science of rinseless wash. A deep dive for all you people out there who crave information like that. I know it's super fascinating, Ivan. We'll see them there.
Have fun.